Grace Karcheski, and welcome to Artists. I am the curator of the Livonia Civic Center Library Gallery, and I'm also a Livonia Arts Commissioner. And today we're talking to our February exhibitor, Larry Diggs, from the Greater Detroit Camera Council.
The Greater Detroit Camera Club Council is an association of 10 clubs throughout metropolitan Detroit. If my memory's good, I'll relay them to you. Grosse Pointe Camera Club, Shutterbug, which is in Detroit, Toledo Camera Club, Windsor Camera Club, Livonia Camera Club, West Oakland Camera Club, which actually meets at the Kensington Nature Center. There is one that's called Oakland Camera Club. Now it used to be called the Pontiac Photographic Society, but they've changed their name, so they meet in Waterford, just to let people know where these places are located. And also in Southfield is the Photographic Guild, and there's another club called Motor City Camera Club, which meets near Birmingham. And then what did I leave out? I left out our newest club, which is called Seven Ponds Nature Center Camera Club. I think it's our photo club. And they are located in Dryden. So we've got the entire metropolitan area covered, I think, pretty well. All the clubs dedicate themselves to photography and getting more people to enjoy the art of photography. It is quite intriguing. When I was young, I just decided that I like to take pictures, and then I challenged myself to how can I make something look more interesting. So I kind of taught myself composition a little bit. So there's a lot to it, but also all the clubs will invite anyone at any level. Doesn't matter if you just picked up a camera and never took a picture before, or if you're pretty advanced. They want people to come and join their club, and we learn from each other, because most of the times through our competitions we see what everybody else has done, and we say, gee, I think I could do something similar, or I got a better idea than that, and then you go find what I call subjects to see what you can make a nice image from that. So that's what we're trying to do. Every club has a website, and the simplest way to find that is to go to the Greater Detroit Camera Club website, which is gdccc.org, and you'll click on member clubs, and each one is shown with their website on there, and you can make a direct link from that website to each camera club's website. So that'll give the person who's interested more information about when the club meets and what they're all about and what they try to do and so on and so forth. So that would be the simplest way. I would recommend that somebody attend a meeting. That's the best thing, just attend a meeting. It doesn't cost anything to attend a meeting, and most of the clubs have an annual membership fee between $25 and $30 or something like that. And so the only reason you have to pay a fee is if you decide to enter images in competitions, because all clubs have competitions. So it's worked out very well as far as people being able to find out about us through the websites, obviously. The Greater Detroit Camera Club Council kind of administers the competition setup, but each club has its own competition, usually once a month. In our club, particularly in Livonia, we have two competitions. One, we happen to meet on the first and second Thursday of each month, from September through May. Our club takes the summer off. Some other clubs operate still through the summer. So we have meetings every month from September through May. In the first Thursday, in our case, we actually show a presentation of digital images that have been entered by the members through an electronic process through our website. The organization then organizes them. We start with a panel of 3 judges, or 4 in the case of if we have one of the judges actually entered images, so we have an alternate to judge that. Each judge basically has the opportunity to look at the image and rate it up to from 0 to 9 points. So we have 3 judges that scores count, so the maximum is 27 points. That's a very fine image. And what do they judge them on? Basically is impact, or how does it strike you initially, and then composition, which is what did you have to do to make this an interesting image. And the third element is technical merit, where what did it require from the maker's technical merit possibilities for the camera, lighting, et cetera, et cetera. What did you have to do to create a better image from what you were looking at? So they judge that, and I didn't mention the other aspect. And the So the first week we meet and talk about or judge digital images. The second week is print photography, which is what this exhibit is all about. And so that's basically how most clubs operate. So but it isn't only that. We want people to learn. We want people to look at things and get ideas. There's also, in most situations, a critique. Sometimes it's from the members in the audience. Sometimes it's from the judges. They will say something that is intended to be constructive. Once in a while, we'll have somebody clown around and say something nasty, but it's all in fun. But for the most part, it's well done, and it's surprising how people in the audience can say something on how you could improve this image. And so that's where you get the education from. But a lot of clubs also, and we do too in Livonia, we also have a meeting that is on the third Thursday in the month, but that's reserved usually for outside specialists, people that are famous for photography might come in and give a talk, or teach about techniques or software programs now with digital imaging. I mean, there's just millions of things that you need to learn from the software standpoint. So the whole advent of digital photography, I'm going to talk about that a little bit because I'm not an expert. I've loved film photography, and most of what I've done has been on film. But I now have a digital camera, and I'm starting to learn like everybody else. I'm just about 10 years behind the rest of the world. So essentially, digital opened a whole new avenue because, for one thing, the wonderful ability to be able to make as many images as you want without any cost. Basically, film was always a cost to get the film, a cost to develop the film, cost to print the film. And so you're using up money needlessly many times because it's not easy to get a real nice photograph every time you open the lens on your camera. It's not going to happen. So digital created a whole new world for people that I know people that have gone on trips, came back and said, I have 6,500 images. And I'm thinking, well, the world of film is gone. I mean, that'll never, people would not go back to film anymore. The other thing that happened is that when the digital cameras first came out, they were good, but they weren't as good as film. And then all of a sudden, advancement, 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 just like with cars or with computers or with anything else. As time goes on, everything gets better and better and better in digital. So there are people that were like me, never thought they would be doing anything in digital, and now they've all converted because the quality and the capability of the instruments are just beyond what they expected. So it's a digital world now. There's no question about it. And so I think the other element of that is that with digital, introduced a whole new capability due to software programs of manipulating images. I don't like that personally because I was sort of a purist. I wanted to see just exactly what I saw. Conversely, I'm old-fashioned. That's what's happening. That's what's changed. That's what people seem to admire. But when we judge things now, it's a little different element because people are judging things on the basis of, I think you could have made that better with doing this and this and this, which is a software technique, which changes, in my mind, the ability to do things. And so I think it's wonderful that they have that capability. And that, of course, because the Greater Detroit Camera Club Council is kind of the rules maker for all of this, we had to adjust rules. We've been adjusting rules for years now because things are capable in digital that were not capable before in film. So we had to make new rules. What can we allow? What can't we allow? So, and the other thing in digital, we have different categories in digital imaging too. It's not just prints. Prints is just black and white and color, monochrome and color. But in nature is just melded in with all the rest of the images. When you see the exhibit here, it's a combination of black and white, although I kept the black and white images pretty much on individual panels. They're not commingled, they're identified, they're coordinated, but they're not commingled, I'll say. So I wanted to keep the same kind of an image section together. But anyway, I started to say what the other categories are in our digital competitions. We have monochrome, and we have, in most clubs, they have an assignment too. Each month we have an assignment which is determined by the membership at the end of the year. For each month we'll have one. It may be bridges, or it may be boats, or it may be a particular category of some kind. And then you're supposed to go out and shoot just those kind of images and enter them in the assignment category. So we have assignment in monochrome and assignment in color. Those don't go on to the council level unless, for some reason, the particular image is one that could be entered ordinarily anyway. Assignments are just done at local level in the clubs. But in the category for the council in digital, we also have nature, which is a separate category. And nature photography in digital imaging is basically nothing that has the hand of man in the image. You might find a bird that lands on the end of a post on a dock or something like that, and if you have a little bit of the dock post in there, that's probably okay. But other than that, there shouldn't be anything in that image. You shouldn't be a roadway in the background or anything like that. So nature is really intended to be just nature, natural imaging. But we also have a category called color creative, and in that category, the sky's the limit. You can do anything you want to with anything, as long as you started with an image that you took with your camera, and then you start manipulating if you want to do something. There's stuff that looks fabulous, and there's stuff that looks very unusual because of the fact that these software programs allow for tweaking in unusual ways. You know, you can almost create something that looks like it had to be done by an artist with painting. You know, and that's part of the software programs that are available now. So. Anyway, I got a little off the track, but I wanted to let people know that that's all about the digital imaging is a wide element of what we do in the camera clubs. So. The council then essentially conducts 6 competitions at the next level. So each club has a director for digital and a director for prints. The director selects from the local club the best images he thinks as it would relate to the competition they're going to enter into against the other clubs. So there's like 6 competitions throughout the year that the clubs compete with each other at the little higher level. Now, in that case, the hosting club, with that competition is usually hosted by one club. They can't enter anything when they're hosting, and so they provide the judges from their expert photographers to judge that competition. At the end of the year, all the ones that did well or are winners from those competitions are invited back for a year-end competition. At the year end, what we try to do is bring in outside expert judges to look at all those winning images, both digital and print, and then they rate the ones that are the best of the best, and that's what this exhibit is here on prints. The only ones that made it to these walls are the ones that were really judged by the experts as best of the best for 2012. So. We have a banquet at the end of the year where these are shown, and awards are handed out because each one is an award winner and so on. It's either a ribbon or medal, and sometimes the bigger the winners are revolving trophies that are used each year. So it's a nice event and everybody enjoys it, but nobody really knows when they're coming to the year-end banquet whether they won anything or not. So it's sort of like, we call it our Academy Awards kind of a thing, you know, so nobody really knows if they won something or not. So. But when I was coming home from the banquet last year, I was just thinking, gosh, those nice photographs are just going to be taken home tonight. No one's going to see them again, you know. So they're gone, and no one. It's very rare that they get shown anywhere. In fact, so then I thought to myself, well, Livonia's got this great gallery. I'm going to approach the Arts Commission and see if there's any possibility of coming in here and displaying them, and fortunately you were kind enough to allow us to do that. Plus, the other thing we wanted to do is to call attention to the fact that we exist, and that there are 10 clubs around the city area, and that if anybody is interested in photography, we want to invite them to not only come to the exhibit, but find out and pursue the opportunity. Maybe they want to join a club. So those are the reasons why I thought it would be a good idea to have the exhibit here.
Thank you, Larry Diggs, for telling us more about the Greater Detroit Camera Club Council. Today, I'd like to have you come in and invite you to take a look at all of the work that's on display. It's beautiful, and it will give people great ideas, those that are in the photography world. And if not, just enjoy them.